And welcome back to the Frontier Mindset Podcast. I am your host, Cody Elliott, and the purpose of this podcast is to talk about business, entrepreneurship, leadership, but it's also important to mix in some of our foundations, like our faith, our family, our education, and of course, politics. So today we're sitting down with Charles McCall. He's a father, a husband, a businessman,
Yes.
a former Oklahoma state representative,
Yeah.
and longest serving Speaker of the House in Oklahoma,
Correct.
and now candidate for governor, right?
That's true. Yes.
So I appreciate you sitting down with us, Charles.
Oh, Cody, great to be with you today, and great to be here in Western Oklahoma and Stevens County, and it's always great. We're back here close to my wife's original area where she grew up, just a few miles from here. So
not as many trees as back home.
Well, you've got more trees than people might give you credit
right,
for.
Yeah, not quite. Yeah, you
Now,
lose them as you go west.
Cody, we've been to the Panhandle.
That's right.
There's no trees there.
Yeah, that's
but,
for sure.
It still looks good. Beautiful country.
Well, that's cool. Well, thank you very much. Well, why don't you tell us about your background and where you're born and raised and your folks and stuff?
Yeah, I appreciate it, Cody. I born, raised, lived my entire life in Atoka, Oklahoma. So southern part of the state, but the eastern side, just about 40 miles north of the Red River. Our family came to Oklahoma in 1885. I'm a fifth generation Oklahoman. We've been here a long time. I love this state. I think it's the best state in the nation. Got the greatest people. Really excited about our future here. Stephanie and I met on a blind date in college, and we both thought it'd be the worst night of our life. And lo and behold, I talked her into marrying me after 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days, and we've made our life in Atoka. My family is in community banking. Professionally, I've been a banker my entire career, and if you're in small town bank, what that means is, you get involved and try to help your community. The only way you do well is if your community does well and the people within your community do well. And quite honestly, that's what interests me in public service. I never saw myself wanting to get into politics or public service, but one of those themes really parallels banking. My dad told me on day one when I was joining the company, he's like, the only way you'll be successful is if you go make someone else successful. If they fail, you fail. And that's really what I think public service is about. I don't really view it as politics because to me, I'm just a private sector guy. And I got talked into running for my first elected position, which was on the city council.
Okay.
And I didn't want to do it. Steph and I had our first child. I think we had a second one on the way. And I was, this is not the right time in life to be.
About what year was this?
That would have been right around, I'd say about 2004.
Okay.
2003.
City Council.
City Council. And they said, yeah, you need to do it. Got a vacancy, and yeah, we think you're the right guy to do it. And you got the right motives, and you just want good for everybody. And anyway, I really was about to pass on it and just said it's just not the right time personally. And my dad gave me some really good advice. The best advice I've received in life is from my father, both business and politically. But he said, the personal calendar will never be right.
Right.
When you run for an office, you need to run when the seat's open. And there's a big difference.
Yeah.
He said, especially being a small town businessman, you run when the seat's open. And the reason why is you're running for the seat. You're not running against anybody else. So regardless of the outcome, win or lose, it's, you don't lose any relationships. Yeah. You run against the incumbent.
That's a little tougher.
It's a little tougher, and it's a little more personal.
Sure.
Right? But he said, even if you challenge the incumbent, even if you win, you lose. And the people who love the incumbent, they will never be with you. They'll work against you. You won't be able to get anything done. So don't look at your personal calendar, look at the political calendar.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and I promised Stephanie I just said, hey,
That was going to be it.
that was going to be it. And she said, well, I'll support you. And then a year later, the mayor, which runs opposite of the council, said, I'm retiring. The seat was open, and that same group of folks came in and said, run for mayor. I'm like, this might be a problem. I just promised my wife.
Yeah. Let me go talk to her first. You gotta get
Exactly.
permission there.
Exactly. So go talk to the boss. I had to go
That's
talk
right.
to the boss.
Yes, sir. I understand that.
So was elected. Both the city, the council race and the mayor's race were contested because they were open seats.
Right.
You expect it to be. You go run the race. And I was fortunate to win both of those. I served 7 years as the mayor of Atoka.
Okay.
And
About how big is Atoka? As it was the size then? Have you guys grown much?
well, it's grown a little bit, I think. Most people,
We see the retail growth that y'all
Yeah.
have seen.
it's where we live in the rural parts of the state, more people want to live outside the city limits
Sure.
with a little bit of space, a little bit of acreage, than they want to live inside the city limits proper. So Atoka City, it's grown a little bit, but our county has grown at a little bit faster pace.
Is it about like a Chickasha?
No,
Smaller?
that's a big city.
Okay. Yeah.
Atoka is like 3,500 people
Okay.
in the city limits, about 15,000 in the county.
Yeah.
So not a big county, but Cole County's next door to us with 5,500 people in it. US 75 and 69 converge.
Come through there. That's right.
Atoka, which brings a lot of commerce, really lifeblood to the community. So it's doing, it's, if you drive through Atoka, there's probably more there than you would expect for a town its size.
Yeah.
But it's because of the highway commerce.
So how'd you balance as your time as mayor, city council? Like you were still involved in the business,
Yes, I've never severed my employment with the bank. I mean, I see it as public service, not career,
Sure.
but public service. And the balance is tough.
Right.
The balance is tough. You should, if your spouse is not supportive, don't do it. It's not worth it.
Yeah. You served together.
You do.
Sure. Yeah.
You
Even
do.
at the city level.
Yes.
Municipal level.
And the city level is the most personal.
Right.
I mean,
The people see you every day, and
yeah, and they know exactly what's being discussed at the city council meetings, and they have an opinion, whether it's
right. Yeah.
and they have long memories.
Can't go to the grocery store without them.
Nope, they'll track you down at church.
About the road. Church.
You hope they get you at church, not drive to your home.
Sure. Yeah.
They'll do that.
Small town people know where.
But that's the way small towns are, and we love it. And you just get in there and do the best that you can and work with everybody. And it's a great level arena to start in because it's the most personal, and it teaches you to work with people.
It's close to the people.
Yes, and there's times you have to find ways to try to make. Sometimes you hear what people like and dislike, and it teaches you how to figure out, okay, what the plan should be that makes everybody happy,
Right.
or at least the vast majority. So it was great, but it's very personal. I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
8 years is
8 years as mayor.
is a life sentence in municipal service.
So that would have taken you up to what, 2014, 15 or something?
2012 is when I ran for the state house. Similar situation. Really, after 8 years at the municipal level, kind of felt like it was time to pass the baton, let somebody else do it, bring in some fresh ideas. And our state rep was hitting the term limit. And the group came in and said, hey, you did a great job as mayor. We think you ought to be our state rep. And I said, well, I don't know.
Again, there's go back and talk.
There's some people I need to talk to.
Sure.
And I thought about it. So the biggest obstacle, talked to Stephanie, and she was supportive of it. The biggest obstacle is never had been a Republican elected to House District, seat 22 in state history ever.
Is that Little Dixie down there? Is that what you
all
mean? That's
South?
all been Democrats?
It used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody down there, nobody ran on anything but the Democratic ticket. Therefore, no one was registered anything other than really Democrat. But that has really changed. I ran as Republican. That's just the value set I believed in.
Mm-hmm.
The people have always been the same. They still the same today. They're just conservative people.
Yeah. Yeah, their party left them.
That's right. There's a big difference between the parties, and you got to, you reach a point in your life where you get mature enough, and you start to see it, and you make the decision where you're going to go.
Was there a hot button topic back then in 2012? That made you run, or again, you just wanted to serve the people and represent
my
neighbors?
And I don't mean to be condescending or critical of anybody, but the Republican Party more aligns with my Christian values and belief set. No party's perfect.
Sure.
But no, I just believe that and also I'm a businessman. I believe in limited government. I believe in less government people's lives. I really believe in protecting our freedoms and our liberties. That's what makes America and what makes it the greatest nation the world's ever seen. But constantly, it seems like somebody's always trying to chip away at those freedoms and liberties, or regulate business and just make it tough on people. I'm a small business guy. When I say I'm a banker, we're small town community banks. We're not big. We're not big box.
Talk about
banks.
Government getting in your way.
Oh yeah,
right? Banking.
Especially and somebody in Washington can do by a stroke of a pen can change it forever. But the federal government in particular is making it tougher and tougher for small businesses like me on Main Street, and we've got less businesses and we've got more large corporations, and that's not healthy in my opinion. Yeah. We need to make sure that our Main Street businesses have low regulation. They've got the freedom to operate, be innovative and creative in order to, I'm a small bank, but I still have to compete with the big guys.
Right.
So
I'm sure it's hard for small banks to.
Oh, it is. What we sell, what we have to sell is relationship and flexibility and being able to deliver something faster than somebody else. Otherwise, if you're just looking for rates, we might not have the cheapest rate compared to the really big ones.
You guys can make local decisions, and it's not coming from 1,000 miles away.
That's right. And so we've been blessed, and we keep. I'm the third generation in this bank, and excited. Stephanie and I have two boys. One's out of college, and they both want to be bankers.
Oh, that's good.
But we told them, you got to go work. You got to go get a job somewhere else.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, and
I think that's a good thing. Go work for somebody else.
I think so. I want my kids to understand what it's really like to scratch out a living. And we have two great boys. My oldest son, when he started interviewing, he's finishing his master's degree and his MBA. He said, "Dad, I want to do this on my own. Don't make any phone calls.
That's good.
Don't point me in any direction. I'm gonna go figure this out." And I was really proud of him. Showed a lot of maturity, and in fact, my kids have a lot more maturity at their age than I did. But he's doing great. Just got married, and his wife just got her law license, finished law school.
He found a good one, huh?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And a mile and a half down the road from where he grew up.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so he moved home?
He hasn't moved home yet.
Okay.
So
they're
both from Atoka.
Okay.
They're both living in the Oklahoma City, Norman area. Starting their lives off. They just got married in June. And so
maybe grandkids along the way somewhere.
It's getting closer, I guess. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
But anyway, we hope that they'll return home,
continue on the family business.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of goes back to, some of the reasons why you do the public service when you're a business person. You want to make sure that our rural communities have our kids, grandkids have something that they can return
Yes, sir.
back to. I think people would prefer to live in a setting where they have great neighbors, great communities, and a little bit of space, but there has to be an economic incentive
For them to come home too, right?
Yeah,
You want
that's
them
right.
to come home.
That's right.
Yeah.
So those are the things that we value in Oklahoma and are important to Oklahomans, and part of the reason why we continue to consider these public service
So
positions.
you still see it as like, I'm building for my family and everybody's family, and what's good for your family's good for mine.
Yeah, Cody, I mentioned my dad. I mean, he told me when I started in banking, he just said, listen, the only way you'll be successful is to go help someone else be successful.
Yeah.
And same thing in public service. Just what we need government to do, in my opinion, is just set up the right environment for families and businesses to do well, to flourish, to thrive.
Hang out in the background.
That's right. Well, and everything else will take care of itself. The people, the private sector, they make it work. Government just has to make sure it doesn't get in the way.
Right.
And if the people and the businesses are doing well, and what I experienced in the state legislature, and I had seen the worst the state's ever been in financially.
Right. Yeah, we're talking about that. Yeah.
And I've seen it the best. But when families and business are doing well, the state doesn't have a bad day.
Yeah.
I mean, they're able to have the resources to do what the people of the state want them to do.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah. Talk about like your time in the state legislature. I don't know if people realize, if they can remember back that far, that y'all had a hole to dig out of, right?
Oh, it was rough.
Budget deficit.
I thought running as a Republican in House District 22 and winning by 232 votes out of 14,000 was rough. But then I show up at the Capitol, and my first session was 2013. We actually had a small surplus that year, small surplus. But the next year got bad.
Our state budget is cyclical with oil and gas and stuff like that.
It has been. It does. So Oklahoma, one of the things that has really helped us over the last 10 years, we really had two industries. We have oil and gas, and we have agriculture. And both of those things, especially agriculture, where I live, our customers, our year is going to be based upon how the ag sector is doing, primarily where we live, cattle prices.
Okay.
Our customers having a good year this year.
Yes, sir.
You know, but the state has diversified its economy. Now the big four, we have four large industries in the state. Oil and gas, energy sector still the largest. Mm-hmm. Aerospace is number 2, agriculture 3, tourism 4. Now, depending on where you live, like where I live, ag and tourism,
sure,
those are the big 2.
Yeah.
Atoka's not a big.
Don't have a lot of aerospace down there.
Not a lot of, we actually, there is a unmanned aerial system testing facility.
Oh, wow. Okay.
On about a 45,000 acre tract of land in the north part of the county that the Choctaw Nation bought from Chesapeake. And they actually petitioned the U.S. government to control the airspace above it. And they're bringing all the tech companies across the world to test at their newest systems privately at this facility. And I'm hopeful that will lead to manufacturing and these companies having a presence somewhere in the state of Oklahoma.
Sure.
So that's something exciting on that front of aerospace, these emerging technologies, and Oklahoma is a big player in those.
Yeah.
And that creates
won't have the up and downs of oil and gas.
We will
diversify us a little bit.
We do. I've seen it where it really hurt. But in the last 6 years, when we were setting record year after year and the economy expanding and producing more, we were even showing record surpluses when oil was trading at a negative number. And for 1 year, it traded, for a period during 1 year, it traded at negative numbers. So it talks about the diversity of the state's economy. And so we're a lot better off. We had no reserves when I became the Speaker of the House. Became Speaker very early, and they picked me because of the financial crisis that we were in. and just my banking background, and I still had up to 8 years that I could serve. And of course, being the speaker, you're subject to being changed out
Sure.
anytime.
Yeah.
So you got to work hard, and you got to bring people together, and you got to listen to people.
You're trying to represent your people back home.
That's right.
And then represent the needs of every legislator and
That's right.
And the Senate side too, if they want to change something.
Then you've got to have the houses back when you go to negotiate with the Senate and the governor.
Wow. Okay.
You know, so it's it was an honor of a lifetime, and we had a lot of success, a great run. That's why
you must have created good relationships and worked with people to last that long as Speaker of the House, right?
Yeah, Cody, the only thing that matters at the Capitol building are relationships. And it's very surprising. The day when I showed up the first year, and you would think it would be your own party, your guys that would help you support a piece of legislation. That wasn't always the case. So I learned very quickly, even when you disagree with people, you know, guard your relationships, keep them positive.
Right.
Just treat people decently, and you know, if you really dislike something they're doing, go tell them. You know, and
try not to be too personal about it.
That's right. And
okay.
You know, you get and the legislation you're running, you need to be amenable to,
flexible
to amend it.
You may not get 100%
something that I need. You know, your district wants you to do to fix something in your district might create a problem somewhere else. So when you hear from those you need the good relationship. So those representatives would tell you what your bill does this is what your bill does in my district. And then you get together and like, okay, let's change the language.
Yeah.
Rewrite it, make sure it doesn't have that concept.
I'm willing to be flexible here.
That's right. And that's how the process should work.
Okay.
And does work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say, like, the biggest highlights, you know, in your time in the House? I mean, you guys did a lot, right? I mean, constitutional carry.
Yeah.
Protecting medical freedoms. You had to go through COVID, right?
Oh, I did.
All
that's great stuff while I was a speaker. You know,
yeah.
First thing I got picked to be the Speaker of the House, and first thing I had to deal with was a member misconduct situation. First thing right out of the bag, and it was not good. It was an inappropriate relationship between an elected member and an employee of the House. We did an investigation, came back and said, we're going to expel you from the legislature if you show up for session. You need to make the decision whether or not you want to resign your office.
Don't make me do this the hard way.
But the votes, you will be the first person in the state to be expelled from the legislature. And he decided to go ahead and resign. But you know, that's part of setting the right tone and
sure.
culture. You have to, as elected officials, you have to. I learned this at the municipal level. If you have the trust of the people, you can get things done.
Yeah.
But if you ever lose the trust of the people, you can't get anything done.
You have to hold yourself a little higher standard.
You do, yeah. And everybody's fallible. No one's perfect. But there are standards, you know, and you just have to. There has to be accountability.
Yeah.
And so, right out of the gate, you know,
we had to deal with that. Huh?
We set the tone. We took care of it ourselves, the way it should have been done. I think the people respected it. It was definitely a situation that was in the papers. It was in the news. People followed the investigation, but that's how it played out. And that's kind of when the House of Representatives really started becoming, I think, looked at differently. My predecessor basically told me the House was like a circus.
Yeah.
And prepping me for it, and he wasn't too far off.
Somebody told me the House is the trailer park.
Yeah.
The Senate's the country club.
Yeah. Yeah. He told the term he used was the Senate was a retirement home. And the House was a trailer park. It was there's 101 members in the Oklahoma House. Great
101
body,
different personalities and
all class presidents, all different personalities. And it's fun to see. And it's work to try to bring people together and get a majority or supermajority to get behind policy. But that's when you know you got a good policy.
Yeah. And that goes to leadership too, because you would just want to represent your people, but you're having to
That's right.
And you have to go back to your
the speaker
district and
the speaker
say, hey,
speaks for the House,
right.
so you have to consider everybody. And I always felt like if it was bad policy for House District 22, it wasn't probably good policy anywhere in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But there are issues in the state that were relevant to other parts of the state than my district, and we have to go do that for the people of the state of Oklahoma. So it can't just be about your 38,000 people only in the House of Representatives, or if you're a senator, your 80,000 people, constituents in your Senate district. You also have to look, if you're a chamber leader, you have to look at the entire body, which are the voices for all the people.
Yeah. On your top 5 list of things you accomplished in the House, what would you say?
We got the economy turned around, which led to lower taxes. We cut personal income tax, corporate tax, eliminated franchise tax, grocery tax, marriage tax here in Oklahoma. Those were great on the fiscal side. We protected families. We banned critical race theory. We banned mask mandates during COVID. We kept the economy. We kept our state open. Banned gender reassignment surgeries for minors, I still remember the day that a representative walked into my office and said, "This is going on in Oklahoma, and it's going on right down the road here." And I said, "You're kidding me?" And they're like, "No,
we got to fix this right."
And I said, "We're going to fix it right now." Yeah, that just cannot stand. Yeah. We passed the toughest immigration laws in the country. We banned sanctuary cities. There was a bill that actually got out of the Senate a few years ago that would have granted driver's licenses to illegal aliens. The speaker gets to play 100% defense, and I kept that bill from being heard.
Yeah,
I think that's bad policy for the state of Oklahoma. Anybody with a driver's license is one step away from very easily getting voting card, and we need to keep our elections. Yeah. In fact, we passed a constitutional amendment, and we put it to a vote of the people, citizens only voting. It's now ratified in our Constitution.
It's hard to believe y'all actually had to do that.
Yeah, Cody.
Why wasn't that already?
Exactly. It has a lot to do with which party controls the White House.
Right.
So when President Biden was in the White House, we're spending 80% of our time pushing back on what the feds are trying to cram down on us. I authored and put forth the 10th Amendment bill for the state of Oklahoma, which was the mechanism for us to exercise our 10th Amendment rights under the U.S. Constitution, that where the Constitution of the United States is silent, the states have the right to self-govern. And we utilize that mechanism to push back and defeat a lot of that.
That's good.
That junk that was being pushed down.
Yeah, all the executive orders and things
That's right. And a lot of that came through COVID. The House, we banned vaccines requirements. I don't think the Senate passed that all the way through, but there's just a lot of things that I got to see as speaker, from the worst economy to the best economy to COVID to a 100-year winter storm that lasted for about 12 days, and what that did to consumers on their gas bills and whatnot, and businesses. But those are the things. But I'll say this: you say, what were the top 5? I gave you a bunch of them. There's a lot more love to talk about, but I do want to say this. Really, the best day is when a constituent calls you with something going on in their life that is a really big deal to them. It's like we can't get this agency to respond, or we're going to lose a family member. A life's at stake if we can't get somebody to help us. And you get involved and you solve a problem for them.
So you can make connections.
That's right.
Government.
A couple quick anecdotal situations. There's a young man from Atoka County, and Tanner Pebworth. Hope you watch this, Tanner. just saw him a couple nights ago at Farm Bureau meeting in Atoka. Wonderful young man. And because of some extenuating circumstances, he couldn't get a fishing license. And the young man just loves to fish. And his parents say, when he gets worked up, fishing is what helps him calm back down. Couldn't get the state of Oklahoma to issue him a fishing license. And anyway, I'm like, okay, let me make some phone calls. And then one day, a few weeks later, he shows up in my office at the Capitol, comes in. I'm like, I see him in the hall. I'm like, Mr. Pebworth, how are you doing? And he's like, what brings you all the way up here to Oklahoma City? He's like, Charles, he said, I've come up here to plead my case. We just can't get this thing done. And I'm like, you're kidding me. Who said they won't do it? And he told me the story. And so come with me. And we get a staffer. We get the governor. Governor's in the building. And, of course, governor's over the agencies. I'm like, hey, these people want to fish illegally. They are willing to pay the fee for the permit. And the bureaucracy is keeping this young man from getting it. And anyway, he got his fishing license.
Yeah.
And I saw him 2 nights ago. And
did he thank you?
He did. And he said, and by the way, the day after we got that fishing license, the game warden checked us.
Really? There you go.
So
it's a good thing you got it first.
He was excited that he could just say, I got it now.
Funny. Yeah, making the connections, I think.
It is. So there's a state example. Federal level, had another constituent call me, and it's actually his brother. And he said, listen, you know us, my brother, he's got to have a life-saving heart surgery. He qualifies for Medicare. He's old enough. He's paid in, but he never filed his paperwork. And we're here in the Heart Hospital in Oklahoma. They're telling us this surgery can only be performed in 2 facilities in the country, one in Texas, one in California. Neither one of them will admit us because he doesn't have his Medicare number. And they're telling us 6 months to get him signed up and enrolled. And so we call our federal delegation. And I'm like, I don't know how fast we can do it, but we're going to try, and we're going to find a way to get this done.
This needs to be done quick.
This one, he's got to have it in a couple of days, 48 hours. It happens. I mean, you talk to your U.S. congressional district and your 2 senators, and it's amazing how the cogs can turn in Washington.
That's
DC.
what they're there for, right? Yeah.
He was signed up in like 12 to 24 hours. He had it, and the family will call you crying, and they're crying of joy.
You may have saved his life.
You played a part. So you got to play a part in it.
Right.
And that's the greatest days in public service, where
you
really saw, somebody's life affected.
Face to face, you saw you helped.
for the positive, for the good, and that makes it all worth it.
Yeah. Well, so you term out.
Yes.
Last year, right? Was your last year?
Yes. My last session was a little over a year ago. Technically, my term ended last November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so did you, coming up to running for governor, where'd you see the need in that, or?
Well, what motive? Now, there's definitely some things that you don't just fly off the handle and say, I'm going to run for anything. There's things you need to think about and consider, exercise some discernment. You need to pray about them. You need to talk to everybody that's important to you in your life, because you can't do it without them. I thought there might be a chance, to run. There were reason I'm excited about running for governor is, as speaker, it felt like we were just doing things to get caught up in this state. From that bad economy to the best ever, $5 billion in reserves when we left, from zero. You're ready for the next economic downturn. Won't be as rough. To seeing Oklahoma, its conservative, traditional family value type state, seeing other leaders across the country, coming to Oklahoma or picking up the phone and calling you as a speaker, other speakers saying, "How's Oklahoma doing this?" Our economy is doubled its output in a 6-year time.
Wow.
It's double with lower taxation. It's been a great run, but you realize we're caught up now. Now we're on the cusp of excellence, greatness. Being on the national stage. Oklahoma is not a flyover state anymore. Whether we want, some people would like it to continue to be that way, perhaps, but we're not. You've got the 20th largest city in the country is here in Oklahoma. But what's going to happen in Oklahoma? We live down a little further south of here. We see the people coming in from Texas because the land cost of living's too high down there. Land's much more expensive. They're running out of natural resources because of their population. We have a low cost of living state. We're seeing companies that want to invest billions of dollars and are right here already doing that right here in this area. But that's those kinds of investments could go anywhere in the state of Oklahoma. They want to come here because of our people, our work ethic, our character, and then all these financial reasons that line up for them as well. So I'm excited about the future of the state. I think even seeing the best days as the speaker, I think our best days are still ahead of us if we pick the right leaders.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, now going back personally, as you're coming up through business, was there anyone in your family that was in public service or?
No. Local. My father served on the city council.
Okay.
My grandfather was on the school board for about 36 years. And, in small towns, another thing my dad told me was small town bankers are expected to get involved in public, community service, support the community. Yeah. So, Lions Club, Chamber of Commerce, your church, all the community stuff. But also those other areas where, once again, you need those, whether it's the hospital, whether it's the school, whether it's city government, county government, those things are important for the future of your county.
So personally with y'all's kids, were they in sports? And, as you're starting your public service, you said that your oldest had just been born, right, when you started in public service? And
they were still young. When I started at the municipal, it was, one was born and the other one was.
How was balancing business, public service, family, marriage?
Well, balancing the time in the business was tough because you're trying to build your career. You're trying to build your book of business within the organization. You really ought to be interviewing my wife. She's a superhero.
She held it all together.
She's a superhero of the family. Yep.
Is her relationship in this whole process? Is she like, hey, just let me be in the background and leave me alone, or is she active in your business or
always
service?
Always. Our agreement was this. We started when our kids were young. City councils. I was home every day. It was if I wasn't traveling on business. So I was around to help. She was a school teacher, but she left her career to take care of the kids because of my schedule. Yeah. And so
that's good that y'all were in a place she could do that. Stay.
Yeah. The commitment for me was I really had to try harder. And I needed to produce more. And, so I had to make some commitments there. Now, when I ran for state house of representatives, it got tougher.
Right.
You're 2 hours and 15 minutes away from the Capitol. During session, you're not going to be able to go back and forth. Even when you run even as the state rep, I had 4 counties, not 4 full, but 4 counties that I had to cover. You're never going to be in your home county. If you're from a particular county, once you're elected, you better be everywhere that people don't really know you that well to build those relationships. So when I became state rep, then it got very real. 4 months out of the year when I was at the Capitol, Stephanie wasn't just mom. She was mom and dad.
Sure.
And there would be times she'd get me on the phone at night, and I would do the algebra homework with my son.
Yeah.
And teach him the FOIL method, over the phone. And
so you had to sacrifice your time to serve.
We did.
District and
absolutely
missed a few ball games and
games. You might, those were the toughest.
Sure.
The kids were, oldest was a soccer player, and my youngest was FFA kid, and missing him showing an animal or missing a soccer game was not great.
Yeah.
Those are the sacrifices, but you're
serving something greater.
That's right. Yeah. And that's the point. The point is all of this public service, the belief and the motivation is you're part of something that's bigger than yourself individually.
Build it for your kids and their kids.
And yes, the only thing that's important is everybody else. Once again, go make it good for everybody else. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. You don't need to worry about, you just take care of other people. Everything will go well for yourself.
So personally, if you get in as a governor, you're elected, do you have to back off your personal businesses? How is that relationship going to work? Will you be full-time? I guess I'm really not aware of the schedule for a governor. How is that going to work?
It'll be different. It'll be different. When you become the speaker, as Speaker of the House, I was gone all the time.
You were there.
Stephanie was mom and dad like most of the time.
Yeah.
Governor will be. It'll be a different level of commitment. There's nothing, and there's
no off session for the governor.
Nope.
Right.
No, not at all. And so, just like the reality is, state rep, the biggest lie about it is part-time job.
Right. It's only 4 months.
It's not. It's 12. But so I stepped down as the president of our family bank when I was elected to the state legislature, stayed on as the CEO and the board chairman.
Okay. So you built a good business that
so
got good people in place.
My brother runs it when I'm not there, and we've got that mechanism allows me to do the public service.
Yeah.
If we didn't have that structure, couldn't do it.
Sure.
That wouldn't be fair to my family. But governor will be different, and so the state of Oklahoma, there's no law that requires you to quit. It's not like Washington D.C. There's been some people who said, we want you to run for CD2, Congressional District 2, when our congressman ran for the Senate seat. And I just said, no, I can't do that. And why not? Because you have to quit everything. Yeah. And I'm not willing to.
The business.
I'm not going to sever all my ties. You don't have to do that as the governor. I'm going to have to adjust things.
Sure.
Obviously.
Yeah. Require a lot more of your time.
Yep. And you got to stay away. You got to stay away from doing any business with the state of Oklahoma.
Sure. Yeah. No conflicts of interest.
No conflicts of interest. You do that as the Speaker of the House too.
Sure.
That's just it's just best to stay away from that, not have to answer questions. And even if it's legal, it's never good to be answering questions.
Just looks bad. Yeah.
It does.
Perception is reality.
You can't lose the trust of the people.
Sure.
You got to keep the trust of the people, or you'll be ineffective, and then you're wasting everybody's time.
Yeah.
So, it'll be different, but we're prepared for it.
Stephanie, she's on board. She's a partner right there with you. Let's go.
She is. She's always there. She is. My wife is not a real political person. She's like, Charles, that's what God's gifted you with, not me. But but she's very supportive. She loves people. As I mentioned, she was a classroom teacher for some years, and we love those relationships. And she likes to go help in those arenas, but she didn't necessarily like the spotlight, and
sure,
she doesn't want to be center stage.
I'm always curious about, even a business leader and a public office holder. How do you balance the family life and the public life and what they hear on the news or on social media?
Yeah.
Do the kids ever call and say, Dad, I heard this about you, or somebody's saying this? And
yeah, it happens. We really tried. Stephanie did a great job, and I supported her on this. But we really kept our kids sheltered from the politics when they were young. And even today,
It's probably good.
We try to. I mean, even, this gubernatorial campaign, I'm sensitive about the fact that I still have a son in college, and
trying to protect him. And
you don't want any
don't tell him what he's hearing.
Exactly. Sure. Something that our campaign does that doesn't sit well with somebody that might see him on campus. We don't want him to.
Yeah, you don't want you affecting your
That's
kids
right.
in a negative
and
way.
He's not part. He's my son. I love him. He's immediate family, but he doesn't have anything to do with this.
I was going to ask you that too. Is he or either of your boys engaged in politics, or
we still try to keep?
Are they like, Dad, leave us out of it?
No, they want to help.
Okay.
We try not to drag them in and make them. We want them to focus on their life, but they're great sons, and we've never had a lick of problem out of them really, and very, very blessed, and we still try. We try to navigate that.
Nobody's perfect.
No, but we want them to be their own, so we don't try to. They come to events occasionally and do.
Y'all kind of let them if they want to. Yeah. Sure, if you don't, no big deal.
If you can't, you got my oldest son has his own life. He's got his own responsibilities, and those are his priorities.
I think it was a good thing you said you make them go work somewhere else, and they need to learn.
I think I didn't do that myself. And my father was ready for me to come back immediately, and he's like, "We need you now." I was honored, but I really think that.
Did you learn a lot of your leadership skills coming up through the business? And
yes, they invested in me. Yeah, I went to a lot of conferences that were building bank leadership, and you learn a lot of those concepts. But it's really the community service or the public service that's its own arena.
Sure,
it operates, functions differently. But I think I'm hoping for my sons that they will get something that I did not have, which is perspective. I just never worked for another banking organization other than the one I've been with for 34 years. I want them to go see how another bank operates.
Maybe they'll get some better ideas.
Exactly.
They'll appreciate what they have when they come back.
If our family business is going to continue beyond my generation, we're going to have a generation of leaders with new vision.
I'm sure there's pressure all the time to sell the bank and all, right? The banking industry.
It has consolidated over time. Yes,
very hard for small banks to.
We work to maintain enough size that we're viable, and we have 7 locations because you got to have them.
You got to grow.
So we've been able to accomplish that, and hopefully the next generation wants to.
Yeah.
If not, then we'll figure out
something else.
That's right.
So personally, what do you guys do for fun? Do you have any? Y'all do it? Do you have any off time?
Oh, Cody, there's a lot.
You go home and I saw your video. You were mowing one day.
Yeah.
You get some tractor therapy?
Hey, listen, the tractor is that's the best therapy for decompressing from politics.
I call it dirt work therapy.
I love it.
Push some dirt.
I mean, you just get around there, you're just out there, and you're mowing, you're cleaning up something, you get your mind off of it. And I mean, it's just therapeutic. Yeah. You feel better.
Is y'all's home your oasis, or do y'all travel on your off times? Or
we love our home. We've got about.
I guess y'all are in the public so much that your home is your sanctuary, right?
We love it, and we love the quietness. The people we live with in Atoka, they're great.
Yeah,
I mean they're just, even when I have a bad day. I mean,
everybody knows you as you there, right?
I had a bad day my first term as speaker, and I said something that got caught on camera, and I'm like, ooh, boy, it's really hard to go to church that Sunday. And I knew the elder ladies in the church that were going to meet me at the door, and they put their arm around me.
Yeah.
And
come
said,
over here and repent a little bit, huh?
No, they didn't. I was what I expected. They put their arm around me and said, "We're praying for that other guy. He was not nice to you."
There you go. It's hard. You have to be on all the time, right?
You
It's very hard to relax.
And you just have to just be genuine. I mean, there's times where you just got to say, I messed up. I got it wrong.
Admit it.
Yeah. I mean, I get asked about, votes in the past. Listen, there's some votes I'd love to go back and redo. And there's some that we have. We've figured out real quickly.
That didn't work.
They weren't going to work the way we thought it would. You got to go back and change it. But that's what's great about the people of Oklahoma, Cody. I mean, if you're honest with them, they know you're not perfect, but they want to hear you, they want to hear you be genuine about it.
Sure. Yeah.
But if you tell them, hey, I fell short today, or hey, sorry I didn't get it done, I'm going to try and get it done tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're usually.
Is she pretty good about keeping you in check too?
Yeah, she's really good about keeping me grounded.
Sure.
On the days I really I really did well today.
A little big headed or something.
Yeah, she's like, Charles, you're not.
Go vacuum or something.
You're not a big deal.
Yeah. You need that. You really do.
Yeah.
That's what the house is there for, keep you in check.
So things I love to do, number one is the list of things Stephanie always has for me to do. We got to get those things done.
Yeah.
I was an athlete growing up. I loved any type of sport. I used to scuba dive, water ski. Basketball was my favorite sport. I love being outdoors, whether it's on a tractor or just out at the ranch, working on something. Those are the things I like to do in my off time.
Do y'all like your personal health and do you have healthy eating habits, exercise habits? Do you have any hobbies like that? How do you balance being on the road every day?
We have travel. I mean,
I don't know how you do it, your schedule.
Oh yeah. This is great for weight loss. I'm down 20 pounds on this campaign, just always moving. There's a lot of meals you don't eat, and that's okay. But just by way of getting older, I mean, I'm 55. My wife's still 29. Yeah.
But you learned what you need.
I've
heard that.
We've had to make changes. Yeah. Supplements, healthy eating, and Stephanie's.
I think men in general, we take that for granted, our health. We don't think about it till we get in our 40s or.
Yeah. Cody, I had a really good a doctor of mine that I used, a good Christian man as well. He told me something that made a whole lot of sense. He said, the Lord gives you a body that can handle about anything for the first 40 years. After that, he expects you to start making good decisions. Yeah. So we've had to make.
We're paying for
changing some of those things.
Paying for our 20s now.
Yeah. Yeah. But
teenage years.
For all of the good things, experiences that we've had, we've also had some real trials. We're just like everybody else in the state. There are
sickness and
death. The hardest things were we lost first child during pregnancy, and that was really hard. Stephanie, in the midst of the roughest time that I had, and as speaker, my first 2 years, she was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh wow!
But praise the Lord, she's cancer free now for 7 years.
Good.
But I mean, there are times, and it does make you realize how precious every day is, how important it is to try to get something good accomplished. But
you're limited. You don't know when your day is going to come, right?
That's right.
We're not guaranteed.
We're not guaranteed tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
But
it also makes you, the tough times, they're the ones that's where you grow.
That's true.
That's where you sharpen. That's where you develop. I mean, it's my faith. I mean, where I've seen God the clearest in the midst of the storms.
I was going to ask you that. How's your faith play in your business and your personal life and
public
service?
Yeah, you shouldn't get in public service if you don't have a strong faith, because there's days that you're just like,
you need that.
I mean, Stephanie, when we found out the diagnosis with her cancer, I mean, we found out during a teacher walkout at the state capitol. I mean, which
wasn't good timing.
Was not great.
Never good timing.
But I can remember multiple times during those 2 years just stopping what I was doing. I got some more bad news and just stop, and whether I looked up at the heavens or just bowed my head, but just talk to God. Just say, I believe you're gonna get me through this, but I can't see it.
I don't understand it now.
I can't see the path. And he showed up every time.
Yeah.
And coming out of that, it strengthens your faith. And then the trial gets a little tougher. It's you're
just on to the next trial, and
you think it's another trial, or a test, but it's every time you exercise a little bit of faith, you'll find another trial where you have to exercise a little bit more. And I truly believe we are not defined by what we face in life. Everybody's going to face trial and tribulation of some sort, in different ways. What's important, what defines us, is how we respond to it.
Sure.
It's the response. It's not the fact that you experience it.
That foundation of faith and character.
And so if you've got a strong faith, Cody, you'll be able to, you'll get through it.
Yeah.
And you'll be better for it.
So that goes to, what advice would you give young men or women, trying to figure out their way, whether it's business or politics or in their faith?
For young people, listen, the most important thing for you is your faith. Everything is built upon it. If you don't have a strong Christian faith, and maybe you do have a Christian faith, but you're new to it, that you are building you have a foundation to build off of. It's those who have never been exposed to how important that is and had that personal experience. They find themselves going into these trials and tribulations, and
with
nothing underneath them to support them.
Yeah.
And they get in a constant cycle of what appears to be failure.
Mm-hmm.
So that faith is important. Beyond that, I hope, I was fortunate to have two wonderful, loving parents throughout my entire life, and until they passed on this world. Not every child has that in this state. That's definitely something, as the governor of the state of Oklahoma, will be a priority of mine, because I don't feel like the state can be any stronger than the families within it.
Sure.
And we've got to try to help families meet those day-to-day challenges that they have, stay
creating
together,
opportunities, and staying. Yeah,
that's right. We also need to. There's some things governments can't do that only our churches can do, and we need them to be involved and speaking truth into our young people, and
that goes to local leadership and discipleship, right?
It does.
People need to help each other,
and that's really important for the future of our state. But that foundation's so important.
Mm-hmm.
Then from there, you can, your parents can give you good advice. They can keep you from learning tough mistakes that they learned.
Mm-hmm.
The best ones you learn are the tough ones, the hard lessons. You remember those. But hopefully you find people. I've been fortunate because I've always found people around me that would help me.
Yeah.
We would support each other.
Surround yourself with good people.
That's
be good
right.
advice.
That's right.
Help your neighbor.
And then when you find yourself in leadership positions, don't deviate from that. Find good people to surround yourself with, and good decisions come from a multitude of counsel. Right? And there's a lot of. You should read the Proverbs every month, and but surround yourself with good Christian people. And people who are like-minded in terms of they want to see good things for others.
Yeah. People
who are selfless, that they don't want anything for themselves. They're just interested and believe that if things are better for other people, then they'll naturally be good for us.
Yeah.
So it's not just what you do, it's how you do it. That's what I learned in the state legislature. Yeah. The how is more important than the what. But seek out people, the older than you.
Get that wisdom.
There's nothing new under the sun, the Bible says.
Sure.
And so go out and seek somebody that's that's further down the path of life than you are, and listen to them. And give you, I can give somebody a lot better advice now than I could 20 years ago.
Learn the hard way on some of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Some of it, though, my parents helped me avoid.
Sure.
Some of it, my
you
wife.
Need good counsel, good guidance around
That's
you.
right. So,
well,
the secret to a great marriage is listen to your spouse.
That's very
good. And have a spouse that each of you care more about the other than yourself, and your marriage will.
I've heard that too, talking about men's ministry and stuff. It's like your wife has that women's intuition. She knows. Listen to her intuition.
She has a sixth sense about people, and I'm like,
it matters who you marry, right?
It does. And
man or woman, it matters.
Stephanie and I met on a blind date.
Yeah.
I mean, and she is the greatest blessing. I mean, she complements.
You need a good partner.
Everything that I am short suited on. So if I do well if I listen to her.
There you go. Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah. Well, any good as far as, I don't know if you have time. Do you read much or listen to much podcasts? Any suggestions on books or podcasts other than the Bible? And
I try to make the Bible scriptures the primary.
Maybe all you have time for these days.
Sometimes, yes, and especially in a gubernatorial race, you try to. What's great is there are people across the state you get to meet, and they'll text you stuff. You know, they're kind of. I've got a guy. There's a guy, Mr. Payton from up north, sends me a Bible verse this morning. He's like, I got up at 5 this morning. I prayed over you and about you, and this is the scripture that came to me. I want you to focus on this today, and it's But
that
beyond
sets the tone for the day, right?
Yeah, get ready to go because the days are long right now. Just reading for, just for fun. And when you have downtime,
bills and stuff for the last 12 years, right? You don't have time for books.
I don't have. If I get some vacation time, Steph and I will block off a few days in December for a retreat. Yeah, and I'll pick up a book. I want to finish. The From Good to Great, and I want to finish also a book that a friend gave me called Justice for Sale, which has to do with our Oklahoma history and our judicial.
Justice for Sale. Okay. I'll have to look that one.
And all of our judges used to be elected in the state, and there was corruption on the high court. And then from that, we have what's called the JNC, or the Judicial Nominating Commission, where now, that group recommends some 3 people for the governor to choose from.
So that book's about that whole process?
Yes.
Okay.
So that book is about what happened.
I'd love to read that one.
In the 50s or 60s era here in Oklahoma, why we have that structure today. Okay. And there's discussion on whether or not we should modify that or change it or whatnot here in, a year or so ago. But it's a great read.
Okay.
And you can tell, once again, there's nothing new under the sun.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, do you want to close with some comments about your race, or, anything you want to tell people, and then of course, how they reach you?
Well, I appreciate that. I was just for your listeners, we are in this for the people of the state of Oklahoma. I don't need another job. I don't need a title. I just want good things for them. If I can help effectuate the right environment and support for them, our state's going to continue to be great and move to the best state in the country. That's our motivation. I'll always be honest. And I know sometimes being honest is telling people what they don't want to hear. Mm-hmm. I'll always tell them the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'll be transparent about things. But I'm going to fight for them. I'm the only candidate in here from rural Oklahoma. I'm the only candidate who is a proven conservative leader that has delivered for people of the state, both policy-wise to protect their families, to protect our way of life, our businesses, our values. I'm going to continue to fight for our freedoms and liberties. I'm going to make sure that economy stays good and continues to expand. I want lower taxes for people. The government can operate fine on consumption taxes. We don't need to tax personal income, in my opinion. Property taxes are getting high for our retirees, and we have some seniors and retirees that are losing their homes across the state because they can't afford the property taxes. I want to freeze property taxes at age 62 for the people of the state. They've been paying them a long time. They're trying to retire, and they've worked hard, and want them to have certainty. And we're not going to be 50th any longer in education if I'm governor. But what's important to me is what the people of the state, what's important to them, what they discuss around the kitchen table at night. Stephanie and I are making the 77 county tour. We are going to try to meet everybody we can and hear from them. Ultimately, we're going to do what the people of the state want us to do for them.
That's good. So they got a website, social media.
McCallforoklahoma.com. Okay. We're on every social media platform, yeah. Even TikTok, now that we have a North America owner.
Right.
We just started that platform up, a week and a half ago when that happened.
There's a lot of tools to reach the people now.
We do. So we're on Facebook, X, okay. TikTok, you name it. Okay. Reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you personally. To me, it's all about relationship.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. So y'all be sure and look up Charles. I think this conversation was really good to get the human side of a public official. I think we just lose that touch of that you are human. You have a family. You have a business. Yeah. You have
there's
those
nothing,
things.
There's, like we like to say, there's nothing special about us. We're just grateful, thankful Oklahomans that just want to see good things happen.
Yeah, I agree. Well, special thanks to John and Terry Smith for letting us use their facility, and Drew Ferguson with Ferg Media for helping us out on the video. So, Charles, again, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Cody, thank you. God bless you.
You bet.
Appreciate you.